Calgary sales are down more than 40% based on the January 2023 stats. Average benchmark price is around $500,000. But if your homes are priced under $500,000, there is a shortage of inventory close to 30%, meaning rows or apartments. Hello friends, my name is Mandeep Desi, and in today's video we are going to talk about Calgary real estate market for the month of January 2023 and what are the predictions for the coming months. Now let's go directly into the numbers. As you can see, there is a shortage of supply of low priced homes remains low because of the inventory issues. If the homes are priced under $500,000, there is nearly a 30% shortage of the inventory. Overall, there are 1199, that's 1200 homes got sold, but the sales are down more than 40%. In fact, year on year basis, obviously listings are down too. We can see there's a downfall of 25%. But if you see, the interesting fact is there's a lot of month of supply is twice, which is 56% up. So this means there are a lot of homes for sale. As a buyer, there is a lot of inventory to look for, but the interesting fact is it is the issue for the bigger homes. If you have a smaller homes, there is still a shortage of inventory. The overall detached price, average benchmark price is around more than 600,000, which is 6.7% up year on year basis, followed by semi-detached, which is around half a million, and then we have rows. If you see the row prices, this is a thing to see because the prices are 12.3% up year on year basis. So if people who have invested, who have bought it as a first time home buyer, there is a lot of growth in those smaller units. Same is for the apartment prices, which is around 277,000 with a up of 10% overall growth. But in the month of January, we saw the sales was down, which is if you focus particularly about detached, the detached saw the most decline, which more than 51%. Only 561 detached homes got sold with a benchmark price of 622,000, but semis is around 100. And if you see the rows, row homes is 209 row homes getting sold with a year-on-year decline of 31%. But the apartments are interesting thing to see. There is still decline of only 10%. Considering the high interest scenario, considering the inflation, people are still buying those apartments. This is the thing to note. And if you see the overall growth on year basis for the Calgary real estate market, we can see the sales are down almost around 40%. There's a 5% growth. If you have invested in Calgary real estate market, there is a net of 5%. But the thing to know is there's a most growth that happened is in the smaller units, with the rows 12%, apartments at 10%. So that's the way you need to look for, because if you see the rows, and particularly the benchmark price is around 361,000. And if you see the peak market, I know in the COVID times when the interest rates were low, in the last year it was around it was in the month of June, the rows were still 363,000. So there is not a much decline in the prices of rows. Those are called townhomes, and same applies to our apartments also. The apartments is around 277%, which is even 1% higher than the last month. So even compared to December month itself, there is a growth in the apartment. So people are rather than renting, because rents are too high. Even in Calgary market also, people are preferring buying those smaller units. So we can see there's a growth opportunity in apartments in the rows. And if you come towards semi-detached and detached, we can see there's a considerable decline with the 44% in semis also, which is called duplexes, and detached we have already talked about. Another thing to know, interesting fact to know about is, see, if you have invested in Calgary real estate market, you can see northeast is the area which have seen the most growth year on year basis, which is more than 10%, with the average benchmark price around 422,000, followed by east. I know east is a bit lower because it's a older community, the prices are a bit low, but as of now there's almost a 10% growth. Then we have southeast, which has a lot of new communities coming up with the benchmark prices more than $500,000 because a newer community, and 9% growth. But on the other side, if you see the most expensive communities like west, which the benchmark price is around more than 600,000, you can see the year on year growth is only 4.5%. I know you'll be excited about the city downtown area. A lot of people moved out of downtown. That's the reason we can see there's only 1% growth in the city center, which the average price is around $500,000. Now let's move on. Now if you compare January 2022 with the January of 23, you can almost see that there were more than 2,000 homes getting sold last year, but considerably only 1,200 homes got sold. That's why we have so much decline. Another thing to note about is the month of supply in Calgary market was only 1.3% last year, but it has considerably increased. It's almost doubled up. It's a good opportunity because a lot of people are refraining from the market, a lot of inflation, high interest scenarios happening. So and obviously there are affordability issues, but sales to list price, that's what the prices which is getting listed and what it is getting sold. You can see prices, the property is getting listed for 300,000, it's getting sold overpriced, but that's not the scenario anymore. You can see it's 98.4%, which is a decline. If you list it for 300,000, it might go from maybe 296 based on the location, obviously on the prices and the condition of the property. And you can see the benchmark price is around $500,000. We can see there's an increase of it, but overall if you see the average price, it is decreasing. Average price is the sum of all the properties that the volume of the property getting sold and the count they divided by, and then this is counted. Another thing to talk about is all the Calgary districts, which was very hot. If you see about the detached, if you are interested in buying a detached, you have to go into the community where you can see the most movement happening. So as of now, Northeast is the area where we have more than 100 detached home got sold for the month of January. So this means people in that community are preferring buying those detached. So if you are an investor or a first time home buyer, you want to build some equity in the property, this might be the area where you should be focused when you're buying those detached homes with the average price of around 477,000. But if you see the other neighboring area is the south, where the south is 94 detached home getting sold. If you have an apartment, obviously apartments will be in the downtown area, so that's why we have 133 apartments getting sold with a sales to listing ratios like around 50%. And if you see, there's still a lot of inventory available for apartments too. And semi-detached, this is a mixed things, which is city center is on the top, followed by north. And another thing to note about is the rows. That's what if you see, the rows are balanced out because there's a lot of new constructions happening in those rows because of affordability. Now the construction is more focused for the affordability housing, so the people can buy and live in those properties. You can see the top number is north, which is 41 rows getting sold with the average price of 344,000, followed by south, which is 38 and 300,000. Obviously south have some older communities, that's the reason for that. Then southeast is there. Northeast is also competitive, so you need to make your decision based on how the activity happening for a particular type of property based on the numbers and the stats we have. Now let's jump onto the neighboring in the Calgary. If you are investing in Adri, that's a bit on the way of Edmonton. So the average price is around 480,000 with a year-on-year growth of 8%. Obviously there are 84 units sold. Same, it's again the sales are down 40% comparatively, and we can see there's an up of inventory in the Adri also. If you see the Cochrane, it's around again 500,000, but the growth is close to 6% in this area. Then Okotokus, another area to talk about is this is the numbers that will definitely help you if you're investing in the suburbs area of the Calgary market. You can see most of the Calgary is the benchmark where a lot of the shares of sales happen, 78%. The next highest one is 6%, which is the Rocky View region. So this is the whole area which covers the Chestermere, Cochrane. There's a lot of new construction happening in Chestermere also, and also in the Cochrane, the closer to Banff area. And if you see another one which we were focused as the Adri, where we can see the close to 5% sales happening. So this is how you can decide. You are in the heart, this is the Calgary, and you can, based on your affordability, obviously as you move out of Calgary the price will come down, but you have to see where is the activity happening, so you can invest there, you can move there and buy your property. So this is the area to focus on. So this was the overall summary. I won't go dig deeper into the numbers. You can contact us for more information, for more details of this, but I'll give you a gist list of things. Obviously, if you're in the Calgary market, average price is $500,000. Just a summary, sales are down, inventory is more, but there's inventory shortage if you're in the rows and apartments. And now this is based on the latest things, but as of now we have seen there's a new interest rate hike that happened. We might see the impact of it, but that was only minus 2.5. that was hinted by the Bank of Canada that this might be the last hike. But there are two important dates to look for. The first one is 21st of February, when we have inflation number coming for the month of January, and the month of 8, when the Bank of Canada is meeting again to do the interest rate analysis. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. We have more videos coming on Toronto real estate market.